Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy back with another reaction video, and I'll be reacting to two Uber Nightmare Horror Stories Animated Volume 2. I can't remember who I got this from. I'll put a link in the description down below so you can go check out their channel yourself. So I would advise you do that. Can't remember. Maybe I'll put it in the title too, because I can't. Because some of these I get like weeks in advance. Like I still got stuff that are actually months old that I haven't reacted to that I downloaded. So, I'll put a link in the description, and maybe if I remember to put the title of the channel in the name in the title of the video. So, anyway, let's get into this. Here we go.
This happened June 2018 in Portland, Oregon. I understand I acted like an idiot in this situation. Since then, I've become much
Okay, so
more
we know you already fucking up.
cautious and honestly much more paranoid.
What are they
I
doing?
went dancing with friends and was really drunk by midnight. Unfortunately, this was back when I had little money. And I realized you could save money by eating very little before going out.
True. Or drinking before you go out too.
So, I was so drunk I barely remember my friend ordering me an Uber home. My phone was dead, of course. I can vaguely recall them helping me into the car and telling me to get home safe.
Wait.
I don't remember greeting the driver.
What is up with this dude's eyes? Look at this dude's eyes. What is going on with this dude's eyes? Is he high? Like he's driving around Uber and he's high. What if he gets pulled over? And he is driving under the influence. Oh, this is another one. Like, is it in the DUI and is it DWI? I can't remember. But like, look at this motherfucker's. Like her eyes are supposed to be like bloodshot, like she's drunk. Like this dude's eyes, like he's on meth.
Or the first minute or so. But soon, after getting in, he asked me how my night was.
None of your fucking business.
Honestly, I was just thinking about bed at this point. So I just sort of slurred out that I did sometimes. He then offered me a joint. And this is the first moment I get sort of nervous and begin paying attention. I tell him something like I'm really tired and just need to get home. I think he said something about it being an indica-based joint, and it made for great sleep.
No.
Once again, I say something not exactly like no, but not
just
a yes,
say no.
which he takes as a yes, I'll take the joint now. Once again, I'm still drunk enough I can barely see straight or speak clearly. So when he says, okay, well I have to cancel the ride really quick because I can't give it to you while I'm on the clock, or something to that effect. It takes me a second to
what the
realize
fuck
how
is with your
dangerous
ass?
that
You
is.
like you high.
And by the time I start to
I'd have
say
been
something,
like no.
he cancels the ride and pulls over.
Why are you
We
going?
were in an area just east of the Hawthorne Bridge.
Hold on.
It was totally secluded.
I don't normally pause this, but that's suspicious right there. Like, it'd be one thing, I guess, if he's trying to sell you something. He's like, hey, I can't sell this to you while I'm on the clock, so I have to cancel the ride. But if he's trying to make a sale, like he's trying to give you like, here's a sample, but you would think he would start with how would you like to buy some of this Kush or whatever, and then okay, well I got a free sample. You want to try it first, and okay, but I will have to cancel the ride first because I can't do it while I'm on the clock, which doesn't make sense to me because I'm like, this dude looks like he's high as fuck on the clock, driving a car. So what difference would it make?
Some empty parking lots, a closed auto body shop, no one in sight. It's starting to hit me. I'm now in the car, not with an Uber driver, but with some stranger. I can't call anyone, and he's trying to give me some weed that could have anything in it. For the next minute or so, we're pretty quiet. Or I just can't remember any small talk he tried to make because I was beginning to panic. And every time he
And
handed
then
me the joint,
don't inhale it.
I'd
Just
take
put it in
big
your mouth. Yeah,
hits,
put it in your mouth.
just breathing it into my mouth and not into my lungs.
There you go.
I felt tired, clumsy,
Just be like, here,
and
thanks.
weak. That kind of drunk where you're almost at the point of nausea, and I knew I couldn't do much of anything to defend
I
myself
know
at
that
this
kind of
point.
drunk.
I remember vividly being fixated for a moment on the fact I didn't even have a pair of keys to defend myself with, as my building used fobs for just about everything, and I didn't take my mail key with me. As I'm freaking out, I look up to see if this guy is sort of noticing, and I make eye contact with him in the mirror. He was staring at me, but I couldn't read his expression. Finally, he says something along the lines of, well, let's get out of here. I tell him I'll just call another Uber to get home, thinking at this point it might even be safer to walk. He says, no, I still have your address. I'll just take you home. For a moment, I was relieved. I guess I wanted to believe him so badly that I would get home safe. I tried to calm myself down, thinking he hadn't actually done anything threatening. Maybe he was just the typical stoner guy and I'm overreacting. At this time, I lived on PSU campus in downtown Portland, in the southwest area of the city. He's driving me north on the east side of the river. There are several bridges to our left. As he
My
keeps moving north,
God, look at this
he has
shit.
several opportunities to take an exit to hop over the river and get me back downtown. He keeps skipping them. We keep passing bridge after bridge that could get me home.
He's taking you
Up
to
in
a
northeast
place
Portland,
to murder
there are some
you.
large industrial areas that can get very isolated at night. And Portland in general is surrounded by lots of forest. So I knew he could have me in a secluded area really quickly. After he passed like the fourth exit
It's a
for a bridge,
wrecked car over there.
I've been racking my brain for a way to make him actually take me home. And say something to the effect of, hey, my boyfriend is waiting for me at home. Which was true, though I said it in a very meek way. My driver says nothing. But he did take the next exit for a bridge and basically hung a giant U-turn and started taking me home. Even as we're on the west side of town,
He like,
in the
shit,
south,
somebody's
I'm still
expecting her.
shaking and have my hand on the door handle, thinking about just hopping out at a red light the closer we get to my apartment.
Just put him in a
My phone is
chokehold.
completely dead, and he honestly still has several chances to hop onto nearby highways and speed out of the city. We're getting pretty close to my apartment now, and I'm once again trying to convince myself I'm being paranoid about some stoner. I can't navigate the city. Although a few minutes before, I was so scared. I was almost crying. So, once we get about 2 blocks from my apartment, I lie and tell him it's easiest to stop here and he can let me out. Again, he doesn't say anything, but does slow the car. I'm flooded with relief and even feel myself smile. But when I go to open the door, it's locked. I try to work the lock mechanism manually, but
your
it won't budge.
your door's like, don't
I
worry.
look up at him instinctively to see what's up, and he's got his head turned around almost fully
Turns into the
towards me,
fucking Joker.
shoulders still facing the road, smiling at me. The worst goddamn smile
Oh, that's in
I've
this.
ever seen.
Thought that was my
It was
phone.
mocking, and it just did not reach his eyes at all. I started crying and asking him to open the door. I was so freaked out and still very drunk. Thank God he did. I will never forget the sensation of vulnerability. Not just being drunk in his car with no way to contact anyone, but even if I got out of the car, I kept feeling like he would somehow grab the back of my shirt and pull me back in. As silly as that sounds. When I got home, I found out my boyfriend
What
had actually gone
time
out with his
period does
friends
take
last
place
night
in?
and wasn't
You
even
got
home.
the
He wouldn't even
Goonies
have known
and
until
the
much
Dark
later when
Knight.
we
I
got
mean,
back
I
home
think that was
safe.
Batman
The
Begins
next day, I
poster
confessed
up. Like, what
I
the
was freaking out
fuck?
over nothing, which I realized still could be the case. But in my gut, I had truly felt in danger the night before. Technically, this guy could have been harmless, but I still think I should have texted
Yeah,
my
he
friend
looks
before I
harmless.
report him. The big thing that made me think of this was recently hearing about how Ed Kemper, the co-ed killer, would go for practice runs,
Yeah.
picking up hitchhikers. and
He did
seeing
that
if he could
before
get
he actually
passengers
started. Well, he
and
also did that
potential
while he
victims
when he was
to
killing
trust him,
people too.
or how far out
He
of
would
his
still
comfort
pick
zone
up
he could
people
push them without
to, I
saying
guess,
anything.
take
Obviously,
suspicion
this
off
guy
him.
wasn't Ed Kemper, but I hate wondering if that night was a practice run of sorts for my Uber driver. This happened to me when I was in college.
Could have
It's one
been.
of the bigger party schools, with an entire street of bars you can wander to and from. My boyfriend had gone back to his hometown for the weekend, so I decided to go out with some friends. I had a bit too much to drink and was on the edge of a blackout. knowing with my whole mind and body and soul that I did not want to become a liability for my friends for the rest of the night. I told them I was going to Uber home. My friends insisted on coming with me, but selfishly, I wanted to call my boyfriend when I got home and have a bed to myself. So I told them all no, but took a screenshot of my driver's name and info on the app and sent it to them. When he got close, I hugged them and walked out the door. Like I said earlier, it's a big party school with a lot of bars in one area. So the entire strip is lined with Ubers from about 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. It was almost bar closed, so there were a ton. And look, I was hammered. I don't even know what a Toyota Yaris looks like at the best of times. So, as I'm searching, a man rolled down his window and asked if I was waiting for an Uber. I said yes. He told me he wasn't my Uber, but if I canceled my ride and accepted his,
Oh boy.
he would take me home. I was already thinking of the leftovers I had in my fridge at this point. So, I agreed.
I sound like a
Canceled my
college
Uber
kid
and linked
thinking
my
about the
account up with his.
leftovers I have in my
He was
fridge.
super nice, and he was an Uber. I've heard stories of fake Uber drivers, so I did make sure he was legit. He called me beautiful a few times right off the bat, but hey, I was a girl in college.
Hey,
I got that a lot.
beautiful.
I remember we
Like,
talked
dude,
about
you
our
on the
favorite
clock.
books. I told him I was an English major, and he was super interested in listening to me talk about tutoring ESL students in my free time on campus. He was an immigrant who had to learn to speak English, so we lamented about how awful it is to learn such an intricate language. But how rewarding the successes were in the end. When he missed the turn for my apartment complex, I figured it must have been because he was distracted by our conversation. I politely pointed out that he missed the turn, and he said he'd turn back around. Rather than making a U-turn, though,
Of course.
he took the longest way to get back to my
Oh
home.
god. Here
I
we
was
go.
still in familiar territory, so at least I knew that he was going in the right direction. But I was starting to get nervous. It was around 2:30 at this time, and it was super dark, and no one was awake, let alone outside. When he missed the turn in again, I asked if I could get out and make it back on my own. He seemed kind of offended, like he was surprised that I wasn't as engrossed in our conversation as he was.
Man, I'm just trying to get
I kind of
home,
jokingly told him that
motherfucker.
I was a broke college student, and he was racking up my bill during a surge. That seemed to straighten things out a bit. Oh, I completely understand. And turned back towards my complex. I was honestly so
Okay,
freaked
this
out
is.
and drunk at this point.
It's like he was
that as
he
soon
just
as he
looking for
pulled into
any
my
chick to
complex, I
like
was like, okay,
they
right here,
fantasize
Slide.
on.
Thank you.
Like,
And pulled on the door handle when he came to a stop.
what is with these door
It
handles?
didn't open. I hit the little lock latch. Still nothing. Let's go get coffee,
Oh,
he said. He clicked the button in the app to
but
say
let's
the work was
not.
completed, and clicked out of the app. At this point, I'm just trying not to look as freaked out as I
I
feel.
do. I am
I told him I was
drunk
tired and it
as
was late.
fuck. Like,
Coffee was the last thing I needed at
I'm
this
not
moment.
interested.
I tried the door again, just to make sure I wasn't drunk and handling the door wrong. Still, didn't open. We should just sit here and talk until you're feeling better, he was explaining to me.
What?
We can go somewhere private too,
No.
if you like. Do you live alone up there? At this point, I'm frantically digging through my purse for my phone. Fuck.
Fuck. This dude said, "Do you live alone?" He's like, we could just sit here and just wait until you feel better. Like, have you ever been drunk? I don't want to just sit here and wait till I feel better to go get coffee or to let you up into my place. No. Fuck off. Like, what kind of... Wow.
Being polite. When he asked what I was doing, I told him I promised my boyfriend I'd call once I got home safely. Wrong thing to say. He got pissed.
Oh, he's an
that I had a
incel.
boyfriend. He didn't tell
You
me.
have a
He
boyfriend,
asked what his name
but you
was,
said you
what
liked
he was
me.
for a living, and where he was right now.
What?
At this very second. When I gave half-hearted answers, he got even angrier. He demanded to know why a boyfriend of mine would be stupid enough to leave his girl alone with another man. Him. He repeated it
You're an
twice.
Uber
At this
driver?
point, I'm trying not to cry. When I figured my
Like,
phone must have
what are
fallen
you
under the
talking
seat,
about?
I started digging around down there. He demanded to know what I was doing. I gave my best impression of a genuine laugh and said, I dropped my phone. He told me to stop digging around in his things immediately. I stopped. Mind you, I'm still drunk as hell at this
Oh,
point. I
wow.
was just trying to keep my shit together and not vomit or pass out. I tried the door a third time.
You should have vomited.
Still nothing.
Like,
He asked if I wanted to get coffee
all over
again.
him.
Even kind
No.
of begged a little. I told him no. I just needed sleep. He asked if I lived alone again. I lied and told him I had a roommate. He asked if it was my boyfriend, and I said no. He got kind of angry again, and then straight up asked if I had made my boyfriend up. I told him no, and he got angry and asked why he would leave me alone with another man like this. I'm usually pretty good at
You are an Uber
I get the
driver.
vibe that this guy thought he was a knight compared to my boyfriend.
What are you talking
So,
about?
I lied.
Why would your
teeth.
boyfriend leave you
Told him I was gonna
alone
break
with
things off
someone
with my
who's
boyfriend,
working?
That we weren't even really that serious.
What?
That he was an idiot to leave me alone like this. Thank whatever God was watching over me. But that didn't. He calmed down and said that changed things. He asked if I wanted to get coffee.
Change things.
I changed my answer to, not tonight. He asked for my number, and I gave it to him. He called to make sure it was my real number. My phone buzzed from
Course
between
he
the seat
did.
and the door, and I fished it out. He grabbed my phone from me and demanded I show him my boyfriend's contact info. When I did, he deleted it and gave me a big
He said,
smile.
I'm your boyfriend
It's
now.
good, doesn't it? I told him yes. He put his number on my phone and gave it back. I told him good night in the hopes that he would release me, and he told me he'd like to talk for just a little longer.
Oh my
I had
dude.
to stay locked in that car with him until 4:30 in the morning. I don't even remember what we talked about.
Wow.
He asked if he could hold my hand at one point, to which I said I needed to break up with my boyfriend before I did anything with another man. He liked that answer, thankfully. When he finally let me out, the door was child locked, so it could only be opened from the outside. The windows were locked too. I walked up to the wrong building steps and crouched down in the shadows of some random person's door until he drove off. I sat there for another 10 minutes and then sprinted to my apartment. I called my boyfriend and explained what had happened. His response was the one I get from everyone when I tell this story. Report that to Uber. But even though he didn't know what building in my complex I lived in, he still knew where I lived. I was terrified of seeing him again. I was terrified of calling an Uber. To this day, I refuse to Uber alone. And I make sure I have my phone in my hand every time I get into an Uber now. Please, be cautious when getting into an Uber. Don't be like me.
Oh, it's MJV Animations. Okay. That's who it is. Man. I mean, I feel that she was scared and everything. I'd be like, oh man. I'm like, oh, what's that? As soon as he'd have looked for it, I'm like, God. If I was her, I would just literally brace my knees up against the seat, just hold my arm until that motherfucker pass out. And then as soon as he passed out, like, I don't know, like, unlock the car, unlock the door, get out and just bash his face into the steering wheel. Like, this dude said, oh, he deleted her boyfriend's number on her phone, put his number in, and then she was like, all right, can you let me out now? And then sat there and talked with her for like another 2 hours. Cause they said like 2 a.m. or something. And then she said they talked to like 4 a.m. So like 2 hours. Like, he was like, oh, you want to get coffee? She said, listen, I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. Okay. And then when they stopped, he said, oh, she said, I'm tired. Like, we could just wait here until you feel better. Like, no, you can let me out. Like, this dude, she did right. And just saying, okay, like, they basically giving him everything he needed to make him feel like he was getting what he wanted. Because if she hadn't, I feel like that dude would have got angrier and angrier and probably would have tried to kill her or something. Because he's like, why would your boyfriend leave you here with a guy? Like, I don't think her boyfriend knew that she was going to get picked up by a male Uber driver. Even if she did, you are an Uber driver? That's like your girlfriend going to the doctor, and it's a male doctor that comes in, and like he's like, how your boyfriend leave you with a male doctor? Like what do you you know, it's like some random dude that she just met at a club and was like, okay, he's like, I'll take you home. And she's like, okay. But even then, like, if she's not interested, fuck off, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh, I just, I just wish I was there just to, like, take my retractable baton and just bash his window open, pull that motherfucker out the car, and presumably just beat the shit literally out of his body. Like, every time I hit him, shit just comes flying out his asshole. And then that other chick she's with, he's he's like, you want some of this kush now? That could have just literally just been marijuana. It all helps you sleep. What? It's like I'm trying to. He's the dude's like trying to give you something. Oh, it'll help you sleep. I don't want to go to sleep right this second. I'd rather wait until I get, you know, to my house and my apartment or wherever where I live in my room in my bed and then fall asleep. Not fall asleep in your car. I don't know what is in that. You know, because people are like get offended. Well, what are you trying to say? I'm trying to do something to you. Yes, motherfucker. I don't know you. Like what? But that dude was just crazy. Like she said that he turned his head like 180 degrees and was just smiling at her. And then the second guy just like a violent incel who's like, why is your boyfriend let you be with alone with a guy? Like, and then she, oh, I don't really want to be with him. He shouldn't have left me alone with the guy. And then he like, give me your phone, and deletes his number, her boyfriend's number, and puts his number in. He's like, oh, that's good. Now we can go. And then it makes her sit there for another 2 hours talking to her like. Shit like this is like why I understand why women feel scared about going to places and then being alone with people. Like shit like because if I was in that situation, I'd be nervous too. Like, you know, I'm a big guy and I have had some, you know, at least some hand to hand combat training in my life. And I've been in a few scuffles, so I think I can hold my own, you know. Yeah, I mean, at least hand to hand. Somebody pull out a knife, that's a different story, or a gun. It's definitely a different story. But like, I still feel nervous. You know, like I went to the grocery store last night, and some old guy was like walking, just happened to be walking past my car when I was going to put my groceries in the car, and he was coming like he'd been like right past me, right now I was putting stuff in the trunk, and I made sure I kept. I don't know who that is. I don't know who he could be like because he was walking slowly. That could be just a ruse to make me think, oh, he's old and slow, and then I was like, he runs across the street and fucking stabs me in the back or some shit. You know, I don't know. Like you don't know, and you never know. So you need to always be cautious, especially in dark areas or areas where you are the only person like that. Now it was other people in the parking lot, but they were like far away from me, you know. But I still don't want to get stabbed or shot or robbed. You know, somebody just put a knife to my neck and be like, "Hey, give me your wallet," you know. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed my reaction, and whenever you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Hit that bell. You'll be notified of new videos. Comment down below. Share this video. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.